Hi everybody, it is time for me to set up my bullet journal for the month of April. I use my bullet journal purely as like a brain dump and note-taking system, but I do like to do like setups because I enjoy it. I enjoy the process of it. So if we take a look real quick at March, I did use my bullet journal a little bit more and I left myself a couple of pages for the end of the month since I'm filming this still in March. We're getting ready to head into April and I am not only I'm going to be doing my usual like calendar and everything, but I'm actually going to incorporate a form of tracker in here to go along with Project Stashdown, which that was the last regular video I posted. You can check that out. I'll link it in the description. We'll talk about that more as we get into the setup. Real quick, let's go over supplies. I've got my B5 sized passion journal that I am hoping to make last the whole year. I love the larger size. It makes me super happy. I've got a cutting tool and a cutting mat because I'm going to be doing a little slicey McDicey. I've got some Faber-Castell Pitt Artist Pen fine liners. I've got some Tombow dual brush pens that I'm going to use sparingly. I've got my Pentel Energel RTX 07, which is my current favorite pen, which I may wind up pulling into it. I may not. Who knows? But yeah, that's about my supply system. So for this month, the theme, every month I have a theme, and my theme is based around a flower that my patrons get to vote on and a band or an artist that is one of my favorites. So I can pull some quotes from them. So you can see here for the previous months, we had Snowdrops and Muse in January, Hydrangeas and Cake in February, and Camellias and Fleetwood Mac in March. So for April, the band is actually not a band. It's a artist, and it is one of my mom's favorite artists. My mom, her birthday, my mom passed away 15 years ago, but her birthday is in April. I was talking to my uncle and my sisters to try and remember all of her favorites because for a lot of it, my mom and I had very differing tastes in music. I take much more after my dad when it comes to music tastes. My mom leaned heavily towards like the Carpenters and the Osmonds and like any of the like lady singers from the 70s where you would expect a fog machine to be going while they're singing, like Debbie Boone and shit like that. That was my mom's taste. I much more love like classic rock and shit like that. But we both adore the shit out of some Billy Joel. Now, my mom especially loved pre-80s Billy Joel, like the pre-1983 albums. I love it all, but I'm specifically picking quotes from songs from the pre-1983 albums because it's just a reminder of how much I love my mom and how much I miss her. In the meantime, the flower this month was a hotly contested situation in my Patreon group. Hotly. Tulips were on the bracket for last month and they lost, but people said tulips are much more of an April flower, and so it was really between tulips and cherry blossoms, and the tulips lost, but I'm going to be bringing them back for the May poll for my patrons, so all you tulip people make sure to get there and advocate. But April, cherry blossom season in Animal Crossing, so it makes sense, right? So we're doing some cherry blossoms. I've been doing the exact same thing every month. A square with the flower in the middle and then the colors on the outside and then the lyrics on the inside. And I'm going to do something similar, but I am going to mix it up a little bit. So what I'm kind of inspired by is the idea of like Polaroids like on the page. So what I want to do is like draw in the Polaroids here and then have the flower in one and then the month in the other with the color palette, and then when you open the page in the blank space that you can't see, that have the lyrics in there. So what I didn't really do a lot of prep for this video, you guys. Normally I at least trace in like the things just to make it a little easier, but no, I'm fucking freeballing this time. I think we'll use this card deck. So this card deck is from Ali Edwards. It's a mindfulness card deck, and I ordered it because I thought I might use the journaling cards in my one little word situation, or I might just use it to pull a mindfulness. But my very first real use out of it is going to be to grab my pencil and trace a rectangle that I am going to use as a picture there. And then I'm going to do another one here. Not the greatest tracing job in the world, but it'll do. I don't fucking give that much of a shit, you guys. And I decided to grab this knife, which is a little bigger than the one I currently use, mostly just because I'll be able to get a better grip on it while I'm doing this much less controlled knifing. Speaking of controlled knifings, I finally watched, ball sack. Okay, we're just going to go inside of it and just make it look like I meant to have it be this big. This is some janky shit. That's okay, because I know how I'm going to make it look at least somewhat presentable. Anyway, the thing I was going to... fuck, I can't cut straight for the life of me. Oh my god. Straight. There we go. Why is this not cutting straight? Am I just like that terrible at this? I feel like I have a much easier time with my other knife. Whatever. It'll do. They're similar-ish. Okay. Anyway, I was going to say I finally watched the West Side Story remake, and I found it, for the most part, to be delightful. I love the changes that they made. I love the casting. I love the arrangements. The dancing was outstanding. And with something like West Side Story, the dancing is very important. Somewhere, which is a song that, generally speaking... Okay, so let me back up here just a skosh. I have never been the hugest West Side Story fan. Big part of that being that I don't give that much of a shit about Tony and Maria, because I'm gonna use this like lightest one of these lighter colors. Wait, where's that? I shouldn't have thrown that away. I should have used that as like a tester. Wait, do I have some more paper back here that I hung on to? No. Back to my trash. Back to my recyclables. There we go. I don't remember. There are certain Tombow colors where the cap looks like this, but the color is bright, and I just wanted to make sure. I think it might be this one that I'm thinking of. Yeah, that one's a little closer. I want this light one because I want to have it like around it, kind of like a frame. And then, so maybe what I need to do is stick this. No, I just need like a regular piece of printer paper. I love Shakespeare, don't care for Romeo and Juliet all that much, because it just seems like a couple of dumbass teenagers doing some dumbass teenagering. So we got one pink one there, and we'll take this and just draw like a very loose rectangle around it to kind of give it like a photo frame sort of situation. And then we'll just take my fatty and draw in a little drop shadow here, because I love me some drop shadows. Anyway, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Romeo and Juliet. I love the tragedies, but I prefer the like really gruesome tragedies, not the teenager ones. Although I do prefer that with Romeo and Juliet, Juliet seems to be the one with the better head on her shoulders versus Romeo. Love that. But yeah, Romeo and Juliet, aside from the Baz Luhrmann version, which I just fucking absolutely adore. Okay, well, this is the darker one. That's okay. We can have two different colors. The Baz Luhrmann Romeo and Juliet fucking kicks ass. And I won't hear anything against it. But the, generally speaking, the plot of Romeo and Juliet really gets on my last nerve. So West Side Story was never my favorite musical because I don't really care for the original source material that much. But I love the character of Anita, and I love the character of Riff. Like the side characters. Just like in Romeo and Juliet, my favorite character is Mercutio and Benvolio. I love like the friends. They're the more interesting ones to me. The ones that are like, bruh, what the fuck, dude? Do you know what I'm saying? And so I love that I love the casting of the new movie, because the only cast member that I felt really kind of chugged balls, to quote my son, is Blandy McMilktoast, who played Tony, which I've heard he's potentially like a rapey kind of guy too, but just in general, I don't really care for him all that much. He's got like a punchable face, and I hate saying that, but I really just want to hit him sometimes. I don't know why. He looks annoying. But the girl who played Maria was phenomenal, and Ariana DeBose as Anita was sublime, and the dude who played Bernardo was fucking outstanding, and the guy who played Riff, Mike Feist, I know about him because he was the original Connor in Dear Evan Hansen. He was just outstanding, and Rita Moreno is like fabulous. Like the casting and the dancing and everything was so good. My only real issue with the whole movie, the only thing I did not care for, I just didn't care for Tony, but that's not really news for me. Like, I don't like the actor, but I also just don't really care for the character, so it's okay. I also love what they did to update Chino. So anyway, I liked it. All right, so I'm trying to decide, do I want to, maybe I'll do the February here, and I'll just write it like this because, or sorry, April. I also had no plans for what lettering I was going to use, so block letters it is. So my color palette for this month is all pinks. There's like a dark, like a burgundy kind of red, and then a dark purple and a dark brown, but like 3 really light pinks. I guess the one problem with doing this is like these like kind of angled situations is that it's not as easy to get like even swatches. But honestly, I don't care that much. I really don't. This red here, Tombow number 837, is just so pretty. I really love it. Also, if you're curious of the numbers, these are all Tombows this month. No Pitt Artist pens. I mean, I'm using them for the fine liners, but like there's no Pitt Artist pens in the colors. If these colors are colors you would like and would like to recreate, I will have a list of them in the description. And I'm going to just add the drop shadow onto them as well, because I think that would be fun. I think I'm going to like create the whole like little box around each one. It'll kind of go with the whole like block lettering and everything else. Also, I just don't think this looks finished. So yeah, that's better. I think I might want to put a tracker in my bullet journal this month too. So I'm going to be putting something in for Project Stashdown, but I think I want to put a tracker in as well for a TV show because it has so many episodes and I'm not watching it on like a streaming on demand service. I'm watching it on YouTube. Not because it's like not allowed, like I'm not pirating it. Like it's on YouTube, but it's not easy to find the episodes without Googling them just because of how many clips and things they have on it. And there's like 120 something episodes of this series. So I just want to keep track of them so I can easily figure out where I'm at. How's this look? That looks interesting. Okay, so here we'll draw the cherry blossom. And I'm just going to draw inside the frame as I've been doing because you know what I might do? I might go with, I'm just going to draw blobby cherry blossoms with my Tombows. Also, if you're curious to know what show I'm talking about, it's called Magnificent Century. It's actually in Turkish. It's a Turkish TV show, Turkish drama. I really have been enjoying it. It's about Suleiman the Magnificent and Hurrem, who was his concubine and also became his wife. Like more so, I guess that's a spoiler if you haven't seen it yet, but it's all history. Anyway, the point is that it's awesome. The production is good times. Music is awesome. It's great. And I'm really enjoying it, but I don't want the purple. I want the red. Shit. I guess I need to darken that now because it all looks a little janky. I'm on episode, I want to say 13 or something of it. And each episode's like 2 hours long. So this is not going to be like a quick binge watching endeavor. I'm going to be watching, because not only is it long, but I also need to pay attention to the what's going on because it's subtitles. So what I'm going to do is just do like a quick and dirty sketch over this. Because I have to pay so much attention to it, it's really hard sometimes to kind of keep track of where I'm at. And so I think for once, this might actually be like a good idea. I've done TV trackers in the past and not kept up with them, but I haven't really needed to. Because in the days of streaming services, generally speaking, your streaming service just lets you know where you are the next time you log in. And this particular one, what YouTube has been doing is like suggesting to me like little clips of their, like, because they also upload a bunch of clips, and because those are the more recent uploads from the channel that hosts the TV show, that's what keeps showing up in my recommended, and I don't want clips, I want the episodes. So there we go. Those are some pretty basic looking cherry blossoms, but I'm fine with how they look. And then, because of this, what I want to do now is put in the lyrics. And I'm going to be doing lyrics from The Stranger, which is a song Jesse and I love to sing along with because it's like, it's good times. It's got a great beat. But then when you get to like the bridge, it's like, or the chorus or whatever, it's so cheesy. And so Jesse and I crack up so hard when we sing it. So I'm going to put it up here in this corner and then down here in this corner. Don't be afraid to try again. Everyone goes south every now and then. Ooh. I'm going to add some drop shadow to these. I feel like to make them look a little bit more graphic. Oh yeah. That solved it. And I think maybe what I'll do is I'll go back in with this and just add a little like details here and there. All right. Now that that's done, moving forward, I kind of want to squeeze this all in onto one spread. Do I? No, I don't want to do that. Okay. Maybe I'm just going to say no calendar this month. I'm going to say no calendar this month. I'm going to do two things that I'm going to actually use. One is going to be my monthly tracker for my project Stashdown, and the other is going to be to track watching Magnificent Century. So, to start with Project Stashdown, I currently have 4 categories with different items. I want to draw in a tracker for each category, so I can put the name of the item at the beginning of the month, where it's at, and then like the percentage used up, and then the percentage used up at the end of the month. And I'm not going to write those percentages in yet because I'm actually using them currently and the month hasn't started yet. But I want to be able to say on April 1st, this is where they are. And then at the end of the month, this is where they are. All right, I've divided this into 4 boxes. Each box has enough space for the category name 5 items, even though only one currently has 5 items. All of the rest have 2 or 3. But that can change. And I'm going to actually use this as the base for creating a printable download that'll go out in my newsletter the first Monday of April. So if you're interested, make sure to use the link in my description to sign up for my email newsletter. With this, why don't we start these lines? And then what I want to do is divide the box in half or so to put the name of it. So we'll start here, I guess. Here is my project Stashdown. It's got 4 categories, each with room for 5 items, and I'll fill the items in a hot minute. I've got the first day of the month and the percentage it's at. This is the last day of the month, same thing. And this box will be either a check mark if I finished it completely, a carryover if I'm going to bring it to the next month, or a X if I'm going to be like, nope, I didn't finish it, but I'm not going to carry it over. So that's my project Stashdown. Like I said, if you would like a version of this tracker, I will be giving it to everybody on my newsletter list and all of my patrons on the first Monday of April. Moving forward to this side, we're going to do the Magnificent Century Tracker. So it's 4 seasons. Each season has about... Well, some seasons have 24 episodes, some seasons have more because it winds up being a total of 139 episodes. It looks like most of them are in the same basic range, but season 3 looks to be almost 40 episodes, so they're all different. I'm just going to freeball this, too. These are like the least consistent fucking block letters I have done in quite some time. Most of them look pretty good, and you have this gigantic T that's basically like a chode. If you don't know what a chode is, you're welcome. Urban Dictionary. Magnificent Century. I don't want to put the whole series on here because I'm not going to get through it all. There's no fucking way I'm going to get through it all in the next month. So I think what I'll do is I'll put seasons 1 and 2 here, and then I can work on the rest of the seasons as time goes on. Totally freeballing this. So that's 8. There's total of 63 episodes in seasons 1 and 2. So what I will do is I'm just going to make 8 rows of 8 and just subtract 1 from the end. And this will be seasons 1 and 2. Shit. I've already fucked up. Oh, whatever. No, I don't like that. I fucked it up. We're not gonna live with the fuck up. We're going to glue down some paper. Look at that. We're going to grab this guy, which is all cut wonky, and that's fine. It's so hard when everything is not cut straight, but that's okay. This will do. This'll do. Aw, fuck my life. Finally get it positioned, and there's no glue tape in there. Okay, we're pulling out my Prima glue stick because that's the next adhesive I have on top that's not one of my, like, massive... Ah, this one's all dried out. So use your shit, you guys, because shit dries out. Motherfucker. Is there some adhesive in here? There is. See if I can line this up once more. Okay, it's not perfectly lined up, but it'll do. And there's a little bit of adhesive left out. I'm just gonna see if I can run my finger on it enough to like not make it look like total garbo. Oh, wait, if I divide by 7, then I can do 9 rows. And wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, and that comes out even. I forgot my multiplication tables. So I'm not going to put seasons because the way that they're listed on YouTube is just by episode number. So seasons don't really matter all that much, although I could make a note. Maybe I could just do I'll just do a drop shadow around the start of both seasons. And I'll actually be able to color in some of these because I've already watched some. I want to say 13 or 14, maybe 12, maybe 11. I think 13. I'm so specific. Ah, there goes my scissors. Do I think I'm going to watch all of these in the month of April? No. Because my guess is that I'll probably get on average of about 1 a day. But that's not really true. Some days I'm not going to have time for an hour and 45-minute long TV episode. Some days I might sit and watch a couple while I fold laundry and work on other things. But chances are, even if it's 1 a day, the reason I didn't want to just put season 1 is because if I just put 1 a day, then I definitely will be done with season 1 by the end of April. But I will be deep into season 2. So if I do 1 a day, if I average 1 a day for 30 days, and you count in whatever I watch in the last couple weeks, week and a half, not even a couple weeks, week and a half of March, then I still won't be done with season 2. My hope is to get through this series this year. And potentially there's a sequel series called Magnificent Century Kozem, which is about Kozem Sultan, who was the mother. She was the concubine, the chief concubine of the chief consort of one sultan, the mother of 2 more sultans, and then the grandmother of sultans. She lived through, I think, 6 different sultans' reigns and was a prominent figure in those times. Probably one of the most powerful women in the history of the Ottoman Empire. It was during a period referred to as the Sultanate of Women, where the women in the harems actually exercised a shit ton of power and were the real power behind the thrones. It's fascinating. Anyway, so series 1 is the first series with 4 seasons is about Suleiman the Magnificent and Hurrem Sultan, who was his consort. And then the second show is about Kozem. Much shorter, though. It's only like 2 seasons long, I think. I think it's only like 60 episodes. So if I can get through the behemoth that is all 4 seasons of Magnificent Century, and I'm still into it. And from what I've heard from those of you who've already watched this series, you just keep getting more and more sucked into it. So I love history. I love how sumptuous the show is. The production value of it is outstanding. So I'm just going to color in. I don't care what colors I use. I'm just going to use whatever I have handy. But I'm just going to color in all of the episodes I've already seen. I've seen 14 episodes thus far. And I'll just keep coloring them in and keep track of where I'm at so it'll be easy to find. I didn't put any quotes down on this page, and I'm not going to do a full quote page, but I did pull a quote for these pages. It's from my life, so I don't care what you say anymore. This is my life. So I just put the go ahead with your own life, leave me alone on either side. And that, I think, is fantastic. And I actually really like this setup. I think thus far, this might be my favorite setup so far. It's the most useful. Anyway, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. What is a show you've been enjoying that you can recommend? Like, have you seen Magnificent Century? Is it something you're really interested in? Is there something else you've been watching? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, my friends. And until next time, peace.